Good evening. Welcome to our presentation entitled The Secret to the Recipe. The presenters are Shaquita Jones, Ryan Kilgore, and myself, Tevin Pinkett. At the beginning of this semester, we did not think we would be able to get so much work done in such a small amount of time. We had to use goals and we had to stay motivated as well. At first, we all met together and we put our heads together and we said we want to make the best grade possible in this class. In order to do that, we had to make the best training manual and training manual presentation, and we believe that we did that. The chapters that we chose to use for this presentation were chapters 3 and 5. Chapter 3 is entitled What is the Goal? And chapter 5 is entitled How do you get their attention? Like I said before, we used goals because our goal was to have the best presentation and make an A in this class, and we believe that we did that. As far as event management goes, our participants, they came to our workshop with becoming the best event managers in mind, and the tools that we provided them, they will be the best event managers. In chapter 5, entitled How Do You Get Their Attention, one method that we chose to get our participants' attention was the use of storytelling. Storytelling just creates a social atmosphere and allows the participants to be relaxed because you don't want anybody tense at your workshop because they won't participate or they'll just be boring. And if you just sit there and lecture, then your workshop will be boring. Now I'll pass things along to Shakita so she can present chapter 5 entitled How Do You Get Their Attention?
Chapter 5 is also useful and important to readers because it gives guidance on how to gain and maintain the learner's attention. The useful tips on how to gain the learner's attention includes telling stories, surprising them, show shiny things, tell them all the other elephants are doing it, and leverage the elephant habits. The elephant is pretty smart. It's not just going to take your word something is important. It wants to see and feel the importance. Lessons need to have visual or mysteries to catch the learner's curiosity. All of these tips are important because when given lessons, we want to maintain the reader's attention by showing them the urgency of the lesson. It is important for them to know that after the lessons, they will become more capable in their professional and personal life. Durskin book suggestion can be used in activities for professional development. It is good for workshop to use storytelling to engage attendees. We like stories, we learn a lot from stories, and we seem to have a particular good memory for them. A really well-told story can stick with us for years, even if we've only heard it once. For example, in the event planning workshop, attendees participated in an investigation activity that required them to examine the stories given by clients and using the visuals from the event as evidence. They used the evidence to figure out a way to improve the event, and in the end, they figured out a way to satisfy the clients. The importance of investigation activity uses storytelling to allow the attendees to be the hero. The storytelling allows readers to see the potential of their success once they master a skill. The second suggestion to use from Durskin deals with how the elephant is a social creature. One way to get the elephant attention is to create a sense of social engagement. By encouraging collaboration, it can show the benefit from training with social proof. For example, in the workshop, we encourage attendees to participate in guided activities and individual activities, which requires them to work in groups. By working in groups, it allows them to be more engaged in the learning and pay attention to the topics they were taught. Both suggestions from Chapter 5 are good examples because they stood out the most. They show people how to maintain and engage the learners. For a workshop to be effective, it requires for the learner to try to stay focused on the training being taught. By grabbing the learner's attention, we are able to use the examples as confidence builders to show them their future success after attending the workshop. The top 5 valuable points that I have learned from this class is how to incorporate engaging activities into lessons, how to use icebreakers as a way to have attendees socialize in the beginning of the workshop, how to develop need assessments in order to determine training need, using different elements to engage learners, and for number 5, learning how to identify various learning styles.
In Chapter 3 of Julie Dirksen's Desire for How People Learn, Chapter 3 is entitled What is the Goal? The objective of this chapter is to teach readers how to effectively set defined and attainable goals before designing the learning experience. In this chapter, we learn how to set clear paths to the destination we hope for learners to reach. In Chapter 3, Dirksen stressed the importance of identifying problems, setting destinations,
determining gaps between the start and destination, and deciding how far you are capable of going. By going through this process, you are allowed to address the real issues at hand and set goals to solve those issues. Chapter 3 also teaches to set goals based on the capabilities of your learners and how proficient you want them to become. The chapter addresses the speed and capability of learners involved. This chapter is very important, in my opinion, because goals set the tone for any learning experience. When you can set goals and guide learners to your desired destination, the journey to that destination is much more clear and defined. Two examples I chose that displayed in content taught in Chapter 3 would be a professor setting lesson plans for a class and also training a new employee. When setting lesson plans for a class for the semester, the professor will have to assess problems present, determine gaps that students may enter the course with, set destinations that you want students to reach, and decide how in-depth you want the class to be. The professor would also have to determine how capable the students are and create a course that would benefit all students enrolled. In terms of hiring applicants for a job, hiring managers have to set and effectively communicate goals to the applicants they want to hire. In a job setting, identifying problems, setting a destination, determining gaps, and realizing capabilities is important. You also have to determine how fast you want to throw responsibilities at a new employee, which most times depends on how fast of a learner they are. I feel these are both good examples because in the role of a learning experience designer in both, you have to identify problems, set destinations, determine gaps, and decide how capable you are of going. You would also have to assess the speed and capabilities of all areas for them to reach. The 5 most valuable points that I took away from this class and the vocabulary will be: number 1, that identifying gaps allow you to design better learning experiences. Number 2 would be successful learning experiences don't involve learners learning more, but being able to do more with the knowledge they gain. Number 3 would be it is important to provide structure to new learners and resources and autonomy to experience learning. That those designing learning experiences should define problems before creating solutions to ensure that they're working to solve the actual problems at hand. And the 5th valuable point would be that there are many different types of memory, and utilizing multiple types can improve the likelihood of material retention.
The group, we comprised a list of 10 things that we felt go into an effective workshop. Going from 10 to 1, I'll name them for you. Number 10, the use of a debate. Number 9, the use of case studies. Number 8, the use of simulations. 7, review games. And number 6, limit the use of lectures. Number 5, use group teaching. Number 4, know your audience. Number 3, scavenger hunts. Number 2, leveraging technology. And number 1, successful training. Top 5 things that I learned from this class. Number 1, debates allow participants to engage in subject matter. Number 2, it is important to know your audience. Number 3, playing games is a fun way to reinforce previously learned information. Number 4, successful workshops are led by confident leaders. And number 5, lectures are boring, so try to use them the least amount as possible.
In conclusion, we would advise you to grab the attention of participants early and often throughout the workshop. Give them a clear pathway to the goal you want them to accomplish, and also attempt to incorporate engaging pieces to enhance your presentation that will greatly benefit your participants. Remember, a training workshop without these components would be like a boring car ride with no music and no destination. Nobody would sign up for that. Thank you for watching our presentation, and good luck to all moving forward.